Hey, welcome back to the Mr. Excel Netcast. I'm Bill Jelen. Friday, March 14th, 3/14, episode 715. Couple of reminders. First of all, tomorrow, March 15th, is the deadline for the contest we announced back in episode 700. Send me your name, if you're in the U.S., a zip code, if you're elsewhere, a country and a postal code. We talked about Microsoft MapPoint. All entries by tomorrow have a chance to win a copy of Microsoft MapPoint. We'll do that drawing on Monday's podcast. You have to get that information in by Saturday, though. Today, March 14th, 3/14, is Pi Day. Pi is 3.14159, so 3/14 is Pi Day. Got a great calendar here. This calendar, the Not So Humble Pi calendar. It runs from March to March in honor of Pi Day. Want to send you out here to NotSoHumblePi.com. Great calendar. This is illustrated by Bob D'Amico. Bob is the guy who does the illustrations for the Mr. Excel books. If you ever wonder who does that cartoon, it's Cartoon Bob, and he illustrated this calendar for a math professor. Great, hilarious calendar. If you're a math guy or just any kind of a technical person, check out the calendar at Not So Humble Pi. They also have, of course, it's too late now at this point, but they have greeting cards that you can send out in honor of Pi Day 3/14. Last, basketball fans, Sunday, of course, is Selection Sunday for the NCAA basketball tournament. Once again, we're going to get out the Excel program and run a basketball pool completely in Excel on Monday, or actually even Sunday night. Go to MrExcel.com, NCAA.html, and you can download my spreadsheet, enter your picks, email it back. You have a chance to win a couple of Excel books, and it's just generally fun to track that over the next few weeks, the NCAA basketball tournament. Completely free to play, of course. Okay, so in today's podcast, in honor of Pi Day, we're going to take a look at two functions in Excel that are related to pi. The first one is just simply the pi function. Equal pi returns 3.14159, and this is great for figuring out the area of a circle. So if you have a 12-inch pizza, that's the diameter. Of course, the radius is 1/2 of that, so F4 divided by 2. And then to figure out the area of the circle, you have equal pi, open parenthesis, close parenthesis, there's no arguments, times the radius raised to the second power. Of course, the shift 6, the caret, gives you the exponent there. So we see that a 12-inch pizza has 113 square inches, a 16-inch pizza has 201 square inches. If you're really obsessing about the next office staff meeting, which pizza is the better deal, you can use this to figure it out. Now, back in Special Edition using Excel 2007, I went through all 355 functions in Excel, and when I got to square root of pi, this other function we're going to talk about, I have to admit I could not figure out any use for it whatsoever. I talked about that on Call for Help up on Tech TV Canada, and instantly someone wrote in with the answer. They said, well, wait a second, the square root of pi function is useful for when you're trying to figure out what size square has the same number of square inches as a particular circle. So we have our 12-inch pizza here. We know the radius is 6. You can use the square root of pi function, SQRTPI, and the argument is the radius squared, and that gives us an answer of 10.63472. Well, if you would go to the pizza store and order a square pizza that was exactly 10.63472 inches on each side, and then when we square that to get the area, it will have the exact same size. I guess this is also useful for round tanks versus square tanks. You can use the square root of pi. So in the book, I theorized that there was nothing useful for square root of pi. That's not quite true. If you need to compare square pizzas to round pizzas, you can very quickly use the square root of pi to figure that out. Well, there you go. Happy Pi Day. Don't forget to check out the cool calendar at NotSoHumblePi, just pi.com. Great little novelty calendar for the techie in all of us. And check back on Monday at ncaa.html and enter our free college basketball pool, and we'll see who's the best prognosticator out there. Well, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time for another netcast from Mr. Excel.